Hello everyone and welcome.
Today, I want to share with you a story that moves us with its simplicity and truth. A story that doesn't need headlines or grand stages. Just two people, an intimate moment, and a yes that changes everything. Demet Özdemir never imagined that this quiet sunset, without cameras or spotlights, would mark a turning point. A dinner like many others, everyday words, familiar gestures. Until suddenly, Yaman pulled a small box from his pocket. Inside, a ring. Simple, unpretentious, but shining not with carats, but with meaning. There were no speeches or kneeling, just a deep and silent look that said everything. And Demet, with tears in her eyes, responded with a trembling smile and a yes that needed no thought. No one knew, not their families, nor their closest friends. It was their secret, their refuge in a world that always wanted to judge them. This time it was just theirs. A silent pact between two souls that had already been too exposed. Demet had always imagined a proposal surrounded by flowers, elegant dresses, and flashes. But when the moment arrived, she understood that the magic was in simplicity. Can needed nothing but to be himself to win her over again. For days, they walked through Istanbul as if nothing had happened. But between them, everything had changed. The glances, the gestures, the complicity. Every time Demet looked at her hand, the ring reminded her that they had chosen to start over. Of course, there were doubts. They thought about the past, the misunderstandings, the headlines that had separated them more than once. But they also thought about all they had learned and how much they had grown, and about how they looked at each other now. Can, always discreet, showed a different light in his eyes. His friends noticed he was calmer, happier, and even though he didn't share details, hearing him mention Demet was enough to understand that something had changed. When the news reached the press, it was explosive. No one expected it. Rumors said there was nothing left between them. But the truth is, they lived their love far from the noise, far from scandals. And they revealed it with the strength of those who no longer need to prove anything. At first, Demet hesitated to speak. But seeing the public's affection, she decided to share her experience. Not as a celebrity, but as a woman who simply followed her heart. When I saw the ring, I knew it was the moment. I had no doubts, she said, her voice breaking but firm. That ring has become the symbol of a reborn story. She always wears it, sometimes hidden, sometimes visible, but always there. As a reminder that love can survive time, oblivion, and be reborn even stronger. There's no wedding date, no official plans, but for them, that moment was everything. An intimate promise without witnesses, but with absolute certainty. Those who know them say they've never seen them so sure and so connected. While fans celebrate every gesture, every look, old videos circulate on social media, photos from sets, past interviews. As if the past was preparing for this return. There are stories that don't die, they just wait. And this is one of them. With ups and downs, silences and reunions, but with a bond that was never broken. Now, with that ring as witness, they begin a new chapter. More mature, more real, more theirs. When asked if she regrets saying yes so quickly, Demet laughs and replies, "If I had thought a little longer, I would have fainted." When asked if she regrets saying yes so quickly, Demet laughs and replies, "If I had thought a little longer, I would have fainted. It was the most sincere yes of my life." Beside her, Can silently nods. Because sometimes great stories begin with a small gesture and a ring. They know it won't be easy. Being public figures means being watched, judged. But now they know they are ready. That their love has strong roots. That they have already chosen each other. And that is all that matters. There are actresses who shine for their talent, others for their beauty, and a few because they carry a luminous force that transcends every screen. Demet Özdemir, for me, belongs to that last group. She's a woman who doesn't just act but feels, and that feeling makes her unique. From the moment I saw her in Erkençikuş, I knew there was something different about her. She didn't just act, she transformed. Every gesture, every smile, every tear, it was her speaking through the character. Many have spoken of her connection with Yaman, and even if the spotlight often falls on him, I can't help but think it was Demet who carried the soul of that story. Passion can't be faked without inner truth, and she has an almost magical ability to open emotionally in front of the camera. As one fan said, "It looks like real love, spectacular, with those beautiful, loving glances." And yes, it did. In her eyes, there was sincerity, vulnerability, tenderness, and desire. All at once. Very few actresses achieve that. But Demet also impresses off-screen. Her personal journey is admirable. In a world where women are constantly exposed and judged, she has maintained dignity, elegance, and depth. She has reinvented herself, chosen projects with courage, and shown she isn't tied to anyone's perfect couple image. There is an inner strength in her that cannot be ignored. As one Argentine fan said, "I love them, but each is excellent on their own." So much has been speculated about her private life, illnesses, romances, distances, reunions. But why this obsession with invading her privacy? Sometimes it seems people forget that behind an actress is a real woman with real emotions. A woman who gets tired, who suffers, who laughs, who loves. A woman who, like us, tries to find balance between what she desires and what the world expects of her. As someone wrote in the comments, I hope they both grow as people. And I am sure Demet has and continues to do so. I deeply admire her strength. She has had to carry many expectations, especially when working with Khan. Everyone wanted the fairy tale to continue, but few understand what it means to live under a magnifying glass. As another fan said, soulmates are forever there, but they also deserve to be happy with or without each other. That phrase struck me because it perfectly sums up the dilemma of many actors who portray such intense love stories that the audience confuses them with reality.